Hi, everybody. It's April Henry, back again for my 20th Facebook Live. You can watch all my previous ones on my website, aprilhenry.com, or go to my YouTube channel, which is also called April Henry. My plan is to do this every weekday at 10 a.m. on Pacific Standard Time until I run out of topics. Today's shirt I have worn before, but I forgot to tell you guys about it. So there's a company that prints like part of a Roald Dahl book or whatever on a scarf. I have one of those. But this is almost all of the words to The Girl in the White Van. My agent gave it to me as a Christmas present. So today I am going to talk about point of view because Stan Matthews asked a question about point of view and how do you decide what characters. And I'm also going to talk about some things that have been helping me. But first, point of view. Um, and The Girl in the White Van is the book it's coming out now in July. It's been moved back from May. That book is told from three point of view characters. There's the main girl, Jenny, who is kidnapped when she's leaving her kung fu class. I'm sorry, not Jenny, Savannah. There's Jenny, who has been kidnapped for a while and is being held hostage and has been for about 10 months. And then every now and then, there's the point of view of their kidnapper. Uh, I also have a few other points of view when there were things that I could only tell from that character's point of view. I wanted to explore what is it like to be a family member of someone who's gone missing and people do not know what happened. So I actually have three family members in there because they each represent a different way of reacting to it. One mom has decided that Jenny's definitely dead, and she has decided that she has to move on. The dad has not does not believe that Jenny's dead, and he is searching for her, even though he knows it's likely that she is dead. And the third person is the brother, the one who was left behind when I was doing research into what it's like to be a family member of someone who is long-term missing. It's very hard to be a sibling because you're kind of like the lucky one, and yet you're also not lucky. And how do you resolve those feelings? Anyone in that situation, it turns out, I hadn't thought about it that much before, but not knowing can be one of the worst things for someone in that situation. The Body in the Woods is part of a two-book little series I had going, and both of those have 3 points of view, three kids who are in search and rescue. But in each of the two books that I've written so far, there's one person who's the primary person, and we mostly see things from their point of view. I think one problem with telling books from multiple points of view is you do not know who you're supposed to root for. So by having a book, by having the book being told mostly from one point of view, it gives you someone to latch onto and to care about the most. Run, Hide, Fight Back. That book is told, I think it's told in the beginning from like 5 characters' points of view, but very quickly narrows down to just one. The Girl I Used to Be, I think that's only told from one point of view. The Night She Disappeared, which was inspired by a real cold case. That one is told from the points of view of two people who work at a pizza parlor, and then the girl who's kidnapped comes in occasionally. And finally, Girl Stolen is told from the point of view of the girl who's kidnapped, the blind girl, and the guy who accidentally kidnaps her when he steals her car. So I think you need as many points of view as you need, but you probably need to make it as small as possible. And each person must be there for a reason. They must be supplying something that the reader is not going to be able to know otherwise, or a point of view that the other character is not providing in terms of the information that they bring or the emotion that they bring up. So the other thing I was going to talk about is how I am getting through. I think we're into the middle of the 5th week. One of the things that I do is I make a huge list of things to do every day with many small things on it that only take less than 5 minutes, sometimes even a minute, because it makes me feel good to cross those things out. I even put prayer on the list 3 times, morning, noon, and night. Uh, and I'm also trying to celebrate every small thing that I accomplish, even if it is just saying out loud, good job or victory. Um, I am spending a lot more time than I was on exercise. I was doing Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, which I love. I think it's going to be the last thing to come back because it's basically wrestling, so much close physical contact. So now I'm doing a lot of like body weight exercises. And I'm also, when I run now, I am trying to beat my last best time. And that's helping me keep focused. Uh, I am reading more and I'm watching things on Netflix more, but I'm trying to save those for after 5 p.m. so that I have some structure to my day and it's not just all falling apart. Um, and not that I'm, not that I have a treat to look forward to. I'm setting goals for my writing every day, either a number of hours to spend writing or a number of words to produce. Right now, I'm trying to write 1,000 words a day, which isn't much, but it's actually a lot given what's going on. And every time I write, I will ask myself for a scene, what is the goal? What are the complications? And what is the outcome? And if I know those 3 things, plus who's in the scene, I will set a timer and write for 5 minutes as fast as I can. Not even think about what I'm writing, just act like those words are appearing on the screen by themselves. Then when the 5 minutes are up, I stop, I clean it up. It might take me 15, 20 minutes to clean it up, and then I'll set the timer for another 5 minutes. But in 5 minutes, I can write about 216 words. So that's my top goal, my top thing. I'm trying to beat that. So by doing that, it kind of gives me a nudge. I'm just trying to set things that I can cross off, that I can feel like I accomplished something. Um, I'm also trying to make the weekends feel different by doing something fun, reading more or organizing things. I think Ancestry.com is super fun if you guys have never done it, to try and trace your family history, learn about your family. That's where I learned that I come from this long line of criminals, and one ninth great grandparent was put on trial for being a witch. I'm trying to find time to be grateful, and I'm also trying to do something kind every day for somebody. And these are all things that work for me because I'm a hardcore J on Myers Briggs. If you guys are unfamiliar with Myers Briggs, it's a testing thing where you're either an extrovert or an introvert, big picture or detail, thinker or feeler, and list maker or spontaneous. So you combine those 4 things and you get 16 types. And I am super strong on the planning, which Myers-Briggs uses a J for. So if you're a writer, you can actually take the Myers-Briggs test. I'll put a link on here. And you can take it as your character, and then you can go and Myers-Briggs online and see what are the things that would bother that person the most, and then construct scenes around them. So if somebody is it wants to be organized like me, you'd put them in a situation where they would have to be spontaneous and they would have to they'd feel very uncomfortable. So because books are there to make us feel emotion. If you make your characters feel emotion, you will too. So I think right now we're all going to have good days and good moments and bad moments, but there are ways that we can kind of wrest some control back and set the bar so small that we'll even trip over it, but find ways to feel like, yes, I did do something today. Yes, even if it's got dressed. So that's all until next week. I am working on 5 new topics for next week. Ask me any questions that you'd like me to bring up next week. And have a great day, and I'll put a little link for the Myers-Briggs test. Bye-bye.